we have time to relax, enjoy ourselves before we have to be on the road again and back to High Hrothgar, or to me, whoever took the horn. They wasted our time. Now we're spending even more time looking for it. It's crazy. So be it. But enough of that. I believe we have time to chat, don't we? There are things we can talk about. Make things a lot easier, you know. Time go a lot faster. We have time to share some stories. Eh, Inigo? I bet you have a lot, coming from, you know, how many adventures you partake on. Come on. Don't be shy. All ears, right? Come on, Inigo. Don't make me beg. Share some, please.
My senses rule me. If something smells good, I cannot resist. When no one is watching, I sometimes chase my tail. Silly tail.
That's not what I meant, Inigo.
I hate the way chickens look at me. Like they know what I've done.
Inigo, enough about chickens and staring into your soul, okay? I'm talking about actual stories, you know, from your past.
My brother and I never knew our real parents. We were found abandoned in a smelly shack by a soldier on his way to battle. We melted his heart with our fuzzy little faces, and he carried us to the nearest town. He deposited us at an orphanage, and that is where we spent most of our childhood.
It seems your childhood started off interesting. An old soldier found you in an abandoned shack, took you to an orphanage. Kind man he was.
Mine was perhaps a little more unconventional than most, but I suppose all childhoods are interesting to some degree. My parents provided me with love and encouragement. Apart from the nightly training sessions, we were a normal family. I was bullied by the other Khajiit children because of my unusual color and markings. My mother showed me a handy trick with a rock and a glove. I was never bothered again.
A rock and a glove, Inigo? Don't you think that's a bit extreme? You could have seriously hurt those kids if you wanted to. I'm not sure if you did, but that's a little too far.
Childhood is extreme. It is a time of hard learning, but also teaching. Anyway, I never seriously hurt anyone until I was a lot older.
You're right about that, Inigo. Childhood is about growing and learning through the experiences of your choices. It's about hardship.
My father showed my brother and I how to use a sword. My mother taught us the bow. Happy childhood memories.
I guess we're similar in that regard. Being raised to wield swords at a young age is what we trained for, or what our parents trained us for.
I grew up in Riverhold, not far from Citadel. My brother and I headed for the Imperial City to find our fortune when we came of age. I found love, for a time at least. My brother found death.
You found love?
Well, now that I think about it, maybe it was not love. It was brief and, as it turned out, one-sided. Anyway, all that happened later. My mother and father are both gone. They died protecting a trading caravan a few years back. I guess I am an orphan again. My brother and I found much work as sellswords. We never made it to the Imperial City, but we made a lot of coin.
Interesting. What else happened?
I awoke one morning to a lot of noise outside our tent. My brother staggered in, bleeding, and pushed our father's sword into my hand. He said that if I loved him, I would run. He used the last of his strength to rip out the back of the tent and push me down the slope beyond. Some Khajiit-hating locals had blamed us for a spate of robberies in the area and had decided to take the matter into their own hands. 12 of them had snuck up on us in the night. My brother died, but I live because of him.
I am sorry for your loss, Inigo. Sure, your brother meant the best for you.
I was recruited by a group of bandits a few years ago. That is when I discovered skooma. It was the beginning of a lot of nastiness.
Skooma? You took skooma, Inigo? Well, I suppose that all has happened to you. Wouldn't be surprised.
I was with a bandit girl for a while. Turns out she was using me. She wanted protection, not affection. As soon as she found someone more psychopathic, I was dropped like a sack of troll dung.
Sorry to hear that, Inigo, but it would be more painful if you genuinely loved her. Did you?
I thought I did. We dulled each other's pain somewhat. She seemed like the only bright thing in a very dark place. Regrettably, she was a vicious, manipulative harpy. I left the bandits and took the only ally I had with me. He was also an addict, but we thought we had it under control. His name was Felix. He was a big fellow, good in his scrap. We became mercenaries together.
So you found work with this Felix fellow and became mercenaries. How did that turn out?
After a few months, Felix and I had made a little gold, but our addiction to skooma was getting in the way. No one trusts an addict, my friend. Especially not another addict.
Well, what would you expect? Being under that influence would cause anyone to be wary of another. But the question is, do you ever miss skooma?
From time to time my body does, but my mind is made up. I am never touching this stuff again. It helped me smother some painful memories, but it took my sense and reason as payment. It was not a fair trade.
I see. Carry on.
One day, Felix burst into my chamber. Instinct took over and I reacted. His murder was my second-to-last step on the road of dishonor. Trying to kill you was my last. My journal tells the rest. Read it if you want. I do not enjoy speaking of these things. That is my story. Not a happy one, but maybe the happy stuff is still to come.
The person you thought you were trying to kill, Inigo, that wasn't me. I'm someone completely different from your past, actually. I'm someone you helped raise. I thought you remember, seeing as you think I'm the person you tried to kill, but I'm not. Maybe there'll come a time when I can take you to the person who might know you. Well, might. He knows you, Inigo, and maybe if you meet with him, it could jog your memory a bit. But for now, let's catch some shut-eye. That story was lightning. Seeing all that trauma thrusted on one person. The hell he had to go through. Couldn't imagine it. Well, enough about that. Have to catch some sleep for tomorrow's journey. Huh? Saorise? What are you doing? Like old times, I'm guessing? Very well. Fine. You can stay here. But just remember we have work to do. restful sleep. Saorise,
We heading out?
it's time to go. Sorry to wake you up like this, but we need to leave.
Let's get going.
And Saorise, back then, when we were kids, when we would stay up all night and gaze up at the stars at night, you said to me that if we had any trouble, you'd come to me. I wonder if we have time, you tell me what that is. Anyway, let's go wake up Inigo. He's already awake. In the same chair in which we spoke.
What is on your mind?
Come on, Inigo. It's time to go. Let's leave this place and head out.
You lead, I follow.
Gather your things. We have a long road ahead of us. To Riverwood we go. To whoever took the horn. We'll find out what this really means. Come on now, before there's a storm about. Let's ride. I have a feeling that's coming anyway. We finally made it. Riverwood. What's that? What's going on? Damn wolves. It's nothing now, I guess. The scenery of this land is so awe-striking. What's going on here? Sorry. I tripped. Be on your way. Let's hurry and get inside before I make an even bigger fool out of myself. Come on. Inside. Some way or another, we're going to have to find the person who took the horn. Yes. Start by asking the innkeeps. One of them. Excuse me.
We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Ain't much else to tell.
I'm sorry to have wasted your time, but I'm Looking for someone else.
Until next time.
Excuse me.
You're that visitor been poking around.
Yes, I'm that visitor that's been poking around. But I'd like to ask to rent the attic room.
Attic room, eh? Well, we don't have an attic room, but you can have the one on the left. Make yourself at home.
What? There has to be an attic room. I feel like at the moment I'm being played. What's going on here? Are you the person I'm supposed to meet?
I'm the innkeeper. It's my business to keep track of strangers.
Strange. I have no time for this.
So you're the Dragonborn I've been hearing so much about. I think you're looking for this. We need to talk. Follow me.
I guess we found the person who took the horn, Inigo. This innkeep. She's responsible for wasting our time. But for now, let's follow
Close
her.
the door.
Why all the secrecy? Saorise,
What do you need?
come here.
Okay, got it.
Get inside.
Close the door.
Anything else?
There.
We heading out? Let's get going.
Now let's continue in. Secret passage. Huh. But the place you got. So what is this
The
about?
Greybeards seem to think you're the Dragonborn. I hope they're right.
Listen, you're not the person who gets to decide whether someone is right or not. That's not your place. If the Greybeards think that I'm the Dragonborn, then they think that I am truly the Dragonborn, and they know more about this than you. They're teaching me how to use this voice. And you
Surprise.
took the horn?
I guess I'm getting pretty good at my harmless innkeeper act.
Yeah, could have fooled me. But what's with all the cloak and dagger and
You
keeping
can't be
secrets?
too careful. Thalmor spies are everywhere.
Why would the Thalmor want anything to do with you if you're just an innkeep? But if it's all the same, what do you want with me?
I didn't go to all this trouble on a whim. I needed to make sure it wasn't a Thalmor trap. I am not your enemy. I already gave you the horn. I'm actually trying to help you. I just need you to hear me out.
Help me, huh? Help me by trying to get me and my friends killed? By wasting our time inside a crypt full of things that want to kill us? Listen, I'll give you a chance. Why did you take the horn? Go on.
Like I said
I
in
wanna
my
hear you
note,
out.
I've heard that you might be Dragonborn. I'm part of a group that's been looking for you. Well, someone like you, for a very long time. If you really are Dragonborn, that is. Before I tell you any more,
Patience.
I need to make sure I can trust you.
Find out if you can trust me. But I'm finding it increasingly more difficult to trust you. Go then. Tell me. How can I trust you in the first place, huh? After all that
If you don't
you've
trust
done.
me, you were a fool to walk in here in the first place.
Maybe I am a fool. But why, in the first place, are you looking for someone like me? A dragon?
We remember what most don't. That the Dragonborn is the ultimate dragon slayer. You're the only one that can kill a dragon permanently by devouring its soul. Can you do it? Can you devour
From
a
the
dragon's
very
soul?
first dragon I slew, I did absorb some sort of power from its carcass. I can't
This is no
explain
time
it
to play the
really.
reluctant hero. You either are or aren't Dragonborn. but I'll see for myself soon enough.
Explain to me. Why? Why are the Thalmor after you if you're just a simple innkeep? How do you know these things?
Yes. We're very old enemies. And if my suspicions are correct, they might have something to do with the dragons returning. But that isn't important right now. What is important is that you might be Dragonborn.
Why would the Thalmor want to bring back the dragons when it could just spell disaster for them too? But since we're on this subject, I guess I could ask something else. Why did you take the whore from Eustengraf? How did you know I'd be there? How
I knew the
did
Greybeards
you know?
would send you there if they thought you were Dragonborn. They're nothing if not predictable. When you showed up here, I knew you were the one the Greybeards sent, and not some Thalmor plant.
Guess I've asked all the questions I thought were worth asking, but you still haven't fully explained yourself. What's the part you're not telling me?
Dragons aren't just coming back. They're coming back to life. They weren't gone somewhere for all these years. They were dead, killed off centuries ago by my predecessors. Now something's happening to bring them back to life, and I need you to help me stop it.
They were killed off by ancestors, so they didn't go somewhere. Well, you know how far-fetched this sounds, but what makes you think the dragons are coming back to life? It really just sounds crazy.
I know they are. I visited their ancient burial mounds and found them empty, and I figured out where the next one will come back to life. We're going to go there, and you're going to kill that dragon. If we succeed, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
How did you know all this?
You should know. You got the map for me from Bleak Falls Barrow. The Dragonstone was a map of ancient dragon burial sites. I've looked at which ones are now empty. The pattern is pretty clear. It seems to be spreading from the southeast, down in the Gerals near Riften. The one at Kynesgrove is next, if the pattern holds.
Very well. So where are we going?
Kynesgrove. There's an ancient dragon burial near there. If we can get there before it happens, maybe we'll learn how to stop it.
Here we go again. I guess I should start getting used to it. Let's go
I need to
kill
get
a
into my
dragon.
traveling gear. Give me a minute and I'll be ready.
Fine.
That's better. Let's get on the road to Kynesgrove.
We'll meet there. Can't be held to rely on other people. I guess she doesn't mind if we take some supplies for ourselves. Extra arrows along the way.
I'm traveling.
Saorise, I know you knew how to chant weapons.
Right. Happy trails.
Well, then hurry up. Sword. I'll take it. Maybe it can replace my old one.
I am glad you finally got that horn. Those Greybeards had better be grateful.
You're right, Inigo. They better be grateful. It took a long time getting to it. But do you
I'm
have any
thinking
thoughts?
maybe we should get a seat?
No, Inigo, we had our time to rest. It's time to be back on the road again.
Let us
Remember?
get back to it.
It's a dragon at Kynesgrove that we need to get to. We have no time. Now let's move. Let the people celebrate for themselves.
Kynesgrove is this way. We can travel together or split up and meet there. Your choice.
We'll meet you there, Delphine. Don't worry. We'll find our way. She's traveling on foot. She's for convenience. She had a horse. Regardless, let's follow her. Sorry, Delphine. I feel like that was a little overdue. Excuse me. Sorry. Is this Imperials. Let's get my new weapons equipped. I know for sure that there's going to be things that might need cutting down. Let's take it this way. Excuse me. Coming away. Wolf. You should choose your targets better. There's certainly no prey you could fail. It started raining. Damn it. You have to make it through this storm. You won't stop for anything. You have to make it to Kind's Grove. I'm telling you, it's a waste of time. Damn wolves. Like ending their lives. They're so foolish. It's getting a little dark. I have to leave my lantern on. I hope they're keeping up. Like I said, there's no stopping. Travelers. More people on the road. See here. What's going on here? Damn it. necromancers. Get off your horses! Now! Come on. Sword and bow in hand. Ridiculous. Come on then. Yeah. The night is full of dangerous things that want to kill
Let
us.
us go to Kynesgrove and end that dragon. Maybe then Delphine will give you some real answers. I hope she is trustworthy.
I hope Delphine is trustworthy too, but remember this. Remember that we went into the cave, the crypt, whatever it was. We had no way of knowing if the horn was going to be taken. We basically wasted our time, but we also risked our lives for nothing. She put us all in danger. She did it all for her own selfish reasons, to make sure it wasn't a trap.
I'm thinking, what is Mr. Dragonfly thinking?
Do you have any more thoughts, Inigo?
No, my mind is a tree without leaves at the moment.
Maybe your mind will grow full of leaves when you grow. Each kind grows. I don't know. I'm not good at this sort of thing, Inigo. We're back to our journey. Storm. I never get out of these sort of things. Come on, we have to push through.
This is a good way to...
What was that? A werewolf! Dear God! Let's outrun the damn thing. Maybe we can lose it in this storm. Ride for your lives. Oh, I can't see.
Did you hear something?
Saorise, what are you doing on foot and on horseback? There's a werewolf somewhere out there. We can't see it in this storm. This blizzard. Damn thing terrified me. I've never encountered such a beast. Saorise, where are you? Come on, we need to keep together. I believe it's up there. Hopefully, you guys will meet up with me. See anything. Just walking blind. Come on. Where are you, you damn wolf? I know you're out there. There you are. Well, guess it was my imagination. Ah, knew it. Been through worse climates. It's not like I particularly favor this. Wait a minute.
Salakunir, Zil Gro Dova Ursa.
Steady.
A fiend. He's here. What's going on? What do you see?
Alduin Turi, Oanti Bokri Haslik Senjun Kuzi. Salakunir, Kalimir. Full side of a king. Zu Korar no dove to high. You do not even know our tongue, do you? Such arrogance to dare take for yourself the name of Dova.
What?
Salakunir, Kreda, Jur.
Move on.
Everyone! We got a dragon on our hands. Prepare for a fight. Come on now. Stay away from the thing. Keep your distance. Careful. Come on. Put up more of a fight. Come on! Get to cover! Are you alright? Saorise, Delphine! It's down! We have to make sure it stays down. Got me again. It's not messing around. I think it's weakened. It's down. The Greybeard Saints. Yes, sir. I'm guessing the dragon is gone.
Predators.
Strange.
I owe you some answers, don't I? Go ahead. Whatever you want to know. Nothing held back.
I want to start off with, who are you, and what do you want with me?
I'm one of the last members of the Blades. A very long time ago, the Blades were dragon slayers, and we served the Dragonborn, the greatest dragon slayer. For the last 200 years since the last Dragonborn Emperor, the Blades have been searching for a purpose. Now that dragons are coming back, our purpose is clear again. We need to stop them.
So that's what you meant by ancestors. The Blades. They looked up to the ultimate dragon slayer, which was the Dragonborn. But I'm no great dragon slayer. But who are the Blades?
Exactly. Nobody even remembers our name these days. We used to be known across Tamriel as the protectors of the Septim Emperors. Those days are long gone, though. For the last 200 years, we've been searching for the next Dragonborn to guide and guard, as we are sworn to do. But we never found one, until now.
Interesting. But what I'd like to know more of is, what do you know about the dragons coming
Not
back?
a damn thing. I was just as surprised as you to find that big black dragon here.
I couldn't see that dragon through the blizzard, but it looked familiar. I saw that thing a long time ago. It's the same one I met at Helgen, or saw it. It's the one that got away.
Really? Where?
You must not have been listening to me when I said I saw it at Helgen.
Interesting. Same dragon. Damn it. We're blundering around in the dark here. We need to figure out who's behind it all.
And how do we do that? What's our next
First
move?
thing we need to do is figure out who's behind the dragons. The Thalmor are our best lead. If they aren't involved, they'll know who is.
The Thalmor, huh? Well, I guess you have your rights to be suspicious of things, but what makes you believe they're behind it all?
Nothing solid, yet. But my gut tells me it can't be anybody else. The Empire had captured Ulfric. The war was basically over. Then a dragon attacks, Ulfric escapes, and the war is back on. And now the dragons are attacking everywhere, indiscriminately. Skyrim is weakened. The Empire is weakened. Who else gains from that but the Thalmor?
But why are they after you?
Before the Great War, the Blades helped the Empire against the Thalmor. Our Grand Master saw them as the greatest threat to Tamriel. At the time, that was true. Maybe it still is. So we fought them in the shadows, all across Tamriel. We thought we were more than a match for them. We were wrong.
The Thalmor are formidable opponents. You are naive to think you gained the upper hand against something like that. But how do we know they're behind this? Do you have any ideas on how we can get started on this? Or are we just going to assume that they're responsible right off the bat?
We could get into the Thalmor embassy. It's the center of their operations in Skyrim. Problem is, that place is locked up tighter than a miser's purse. They could teach me a few things about paranoia.
How do we get in?
I'm not sure yet. I have a few ideas, but I'll need some time to pull things together. Meet me back in Riverwood. If I'm not back when you get there, wait for me. I shouldn't be long. Keep an eye on the sky. This is only going to get worse.
Very well, Delphine. We'll meet you back in Riverwood. What a battle. Guess we should get the horn back to the Greybeards. What do you say?
If I were a dragon, you would terrify me. Anyway, Delphine is a blade, eh? She does not seem that sharp to me.
Yeah, you might be right there. She doesn't seem that smart. The Dharma can't be behind this, but do you have any thoughts?
No, my mind is as blank as your expression right now. No offense.
Hey now, that's not my fault. Can't blame genetics on that. I get the same expression from my father. But never mind about that. We're not going to Riverwood immediately. We're going to get the horn to the Greybeards. Come on. Now that the blizzard is over, we can get to the horses and be on our way.